All right, here we go, guys. We're up against Roma today, a team that is mostly absent of any legendary players, whereas our side, which is beset by injuries, has a whole bunch of them, and especially that front three of Bobby Charlton, Diego Maradona, and Pele. And so let's see what we can do here. We are in first place right now, and they will all have a game in hand over us after this one. So we better hope that we get a victory. We would like it not just a victory, as we are in white today, but we would like a victory by a relatively sizable margin, because we want to make sure that we have a good goal differential. So let's get the ball off of them and let's get going. Now I have to, as always, get myself used to Manchester United again after watching a bunch of Mars FC. There's a little bit of a difference in the way that these sides play. I'm using the same tactic, as you know, but United are so much better. Mars FC have some problems. Here's Maradona with the free kick. It's headed over there by Bauer, and it doesn't even get close to the goal. Bauer's had a rough time, and he's had to play a lot because of the injuries that we've had. De Vici can't get over to that one. Here's Giggs, and he does win it in the end. Giggs, with that beautiful burst of speed, passes over to Maradona, and there's a connection for you. 1-0 for Manchester United. I'd like to see you try to stop that one, man. That was an excellent cross that was hammered through, and there's just nothing that the defense could do about this. Giggs brings it over here onto the our left side and passes it straight over, and Maradona is there, and I mean, there's just nothing you can do about it. He's always going to score that goal. And then, of course, in good football manager fashion, he then disappears through the goalkeeper, which is exactly what we want to see. So it's 1-0 Manchester United here in the early going. Kind of hard to get used to playing back in big stadiums again after playing in those little itty-bitty stadiums in, where was it today? Macau, I think, or wherever it was that we were. But it's all right. It's the same game anyway. Now, it would be nice if we could get the ball off of them. And we're having a hard time doing that. And let's run back as fast as we can. That's a shot on goal for Roma, and it ends up coming to nothing. I suppose they're enjoying themselves, but that really wasn't much of an attempt on goal by them. So let's see what happens now. Now this is going to be a little dangerous, I think, with this corner. We have men clogging the middle, and Edwards with the beautiful save off the line to force another corner. Yashin was in position for the first shot, not for the second, but Duncan Edwards has proved his worth to us there, as he has so many times in the past, by knocking that one off the line. And now I hope that we can maintain some sort of defensive front here. Edwards wins it again over to Giggs, who passes it forward looking for Pele, can't find him in the end. And that is the end of that one. You can see Edwards was just in the right place at the right time. That's not something you'll see from Mars FC, I'll tell you that much. We have the ball back here in their half, but we haven't been able to win it off of them, and instead we were leaving guys wide open all over the place. But then Pele wins it, passes to Maradona, but it's a poor pass. Pele's had a real rotten start of the season, and I think he's one of our leading scorers, but he's had so many times here where he's made poor decisions and poor plays. And there's another corner for Roma, so they're taking full advantage of their home advantage. Let's see if we can stop this one. And it's headed out by somebody. I didn't even see who headed it out. So, all right, we'll see if we can't get this ball back. It would be beneficial to play George Best in more familiar positions. What they're telling me, I agree with that. But, I think he'll be just fine. I want him to learn the new position. That's the whole point. That's why he's training at it. But sometimes the game doesn't realize that. My assistant needs to pay attention in our staff meetings. Martinez almost wins this one back, not quite, and De Vici also doesn't quite win it back. It's forced out for another corner. We have been under heavy pressure here for the entirety, really, of the first half so far. It's only 20 minutes in. You can see all of our players converging as one, and so we have prevented the goal from scoring, but, it's been really tight, and it's been really rough, and we look like a tired team that could use like a month or so off to get our bearings about us again. This, of course, as you know, is my own fault for using so many or for selling so many players. I would bring a whole bunch of guys back, say from loan or whatever, but we just don't have enough money. That would kill our wage budget. In fact, when the loans expire, we're going to see problems. That was a Spinazzola tried a bicycle kick. It didn't go anywhere. You have all sorts of wildness and all sorts of craziness going on. And we've got just a couple more minutes left here until the halftime. 1-0 still Manchester United. I would say that we're in control, but we're not really. We look like we're not in any control at all. And here we are at halftime. Nobody really with a really poor match so far, but a couple players have played well. Pele, it's good to see him over 7.0. Bobby Charlton, on the other hand, is having a difficult match, and here we are with the ball. Maybe that will help things a little bit. Maradona back to Bauer. Bauer over to Giggs, and Giggs is stripped away from the ball is stripped away from Giggs right away, and you can see some of the problems that we have. Here's Giggs throwing over to Maradona, back to Giggs. Giggs knocks it back to Leviashin. Giggs still trying to learn that position. I think that's where the problem lies. Bauer up to De Vici, and we'll try to get this defense pulled apart. De Vici to Pele, back to De Vici, back to Leviashin, over to Bauer. We'll try it from this side again. Here's Giggs with it over to Edwards, back to Giggs. And he doesn't get a great first touch on it, and there's a pass forward, and it's a poor pass looking for Casemiro. So Giggs doesn't really realize that, he can take that ball forward like he did when he had the assist earlier today. He doesn't have to pass as soon as he gets in that position. I'm not sure why he's so hesitant. Maybe he needs to pay attention in training, and it's Spinazzola who gets the goal. That was really deserved, I think, by Spinazzola, who's had a really good match so far and was a little bit lucky not to score earlier. We're going to make a substitution. Martinez, I think, has been slightly injured, and so we're going to take him off. 1-1 now the score. We could use some late magic here to win this one. And George Best has also been injured, and I think that we'll take care of that one in a second. In fact, I think I will take care of that here. We don't want Monseglio. Best is on whatever side he's on, the right side. We want Ronaldo, I think, to come on. We'll just confirm the sub. There we go. That's what we want to do. And Pele with a shot from range misses everything, and here comes the substitution. So Ronaldo comes on. He's not fully healthy either, and the injuries are really starting to bother us. We do have a couple of youth players that we could pull up, but I'm not sure that they're quite ready to play at this level. This is pretty intense. I think I'm playing Ronaldo on the correct side. If not, we're about to find out in a couple seconds, aren't we? The ball is passed around us. Finally, Bauer gets onto it, over to Charlton, back to Bauer, over to Ronaldo. Maybe I have him on the wrong side. I don't know. Pele with the ball now. Knocks it over. I'm not sure who Pele was looking for there, but that was a really poor pass. I'm not quite sure what that was supposed to be. That's the sort of thing that we can't allow to happen. Dybala is probably offside. We'll find out here in a second. I think that he's offside. I hope that he's offside. And he's offside. So he was offside. I thought maybe that he was offside on this. Boy, that's close. Maybe not. Poor defense by us. Instead of playing the defender, you're playing, I don't know what you're guarding there if you're not paying any attention to the attacking player. Pellegrini knocks this forward. Ronaldo knocks it out with his head. And here's Pellegrini again, and we've barely been able to prevent them from scoring. And so here's Pellegrini with the corner. After this corner, it's substitution time again. Is knocked forward, headed up. De Vici can't get to it. He does finally. That was a good tackle. And they just told me that Pele wants to come off. That's exactly who I was thinking of, because he doesn't look like he's really at his best right now. Giggs will come off as well for Sancho. I think we're going to mix up Sancho and Ronaldo. That's 4. We're going to keep it at that just in case we get a injury here. 1-1 the score, and we will take a draw if we get it, but we would prefer a victory, of course, because we want the full 3 points. Roma came into this, I think, 33rd place in the overall scheme of things in the Premier League, and that was pretty scary. Leviashin, I think, got barely a fingertip onto that one. Here's another corner. So we would like to not lose to a team that's way down the league table, but this is the way that it is with World Super League. One of the problems that I have coming into this project, and I've seen it before when I've tried this before on my own, is that if you're not building up your team from scratch, it's really easy to run out of money like right away and to run into this problem where you have really good players, but you're overplaying them. Because, it literally is 2 matches a week for the first 5 months of the season. Right. So there's no place to rest, and they're all really high intensity matches, right? It's not like you have a bunch of really lousy teams you can play against. Here's Casemiro, who's fouled in the penalty area, and that may be the call that saves it for us. I'm amazed that we even got an attack in. These guys look so tired and so drained, and that is a penalty. And who's going to take it? It's going to be who? Bruno Fernandes, who came on, and it saved. That's very, very sad for Fernandes. It was a well-struck penalty, too. It was just a good save by their keeper. Fernandes will go over for the corner. And, of course, you know what happens to his average rating then. It tanks. And you know what happens to his morale. It also tanks, and it's going to be hard for us to get a goal. Fortunately, we have 3 shadow strikers, so it's not like we're completely dependent upon one. Good, well-taken shot, I would say, but the keeper guessed right. So that's what happens. And, what does his rating look like? Yeah, 6.2. That's what you get for, he came on just a couple of minutes ago. 6.2 rating because you missed a penalty. So Football Manager, a little bit harsh. This is knocked away by our defenders. It'll be another corner for Roma. I think that's a little bit harsh. I do. I think it's harsh to, get the guy, kill his rating because he missed a penalty, right? Sometimes it happens. It's totally, that was amazing by Bobby Charlton. It's totally luck of the draw. Sancho wins this back, plays around with it a little bit, over to Casemiro. That's a little bit better. Passes this back to Levi Yashin. You can see that we are behind PSG now in the standings. Levi Yashin left the goal wide open after we gave up possession. So, it was good of us to win possession back. This isn't exactly a horrible pass. But, Levi Yashin passes the ball straight to the offensive player, or the other team's player. I don't understand what he's trying to do, right? There's nobody there. Charlton now over to Sancho, and that ends up out for a goal kick. So, we're having a hard time. We're not having very good cohesion. I think what he was trying to do is trying to pass it to where a player was going or something. We kicked that one back out. 1-1 draw. They had the better of the XG. They also had more shots and more shots on targets. This was a pretty poor performance from us. We did win the foul game, so there's that. Talk to you again tomorrow. Bye.